This fragment of Song of Songs by King Solomon proves my idea, and my ideas do not come out of nowhere. They come when I sit down and read the Torah, the prophets, and the scriptures. They're full of wonderful things. All what I learned from there. This particular verse from Song of Songs only confirms that love and suffering is an affliction. It literally proves it with these particular words of King Solomon's song, and I'm not even talking about the verse which says I'm lovesick, but I will talk about this particular verse that I personally like very much. Place me like a seal upon your heart, like a signet upon your arm. For love is as strong as death. What a lovely comparison of love and death. Love is as strong as death. Jealousy is as harsh as hate. It's not even being discussed here that love and jealousy go together. They're necessary components, because if there is no jealousy, there is no love. It's correct, it's natural, it's totally logical. Love is always choosing one person from a multitude of other people. It's something very politically incorrect when a person loves someone more than others. I'm talking about different levels of love. For example, the Greeks have clear differentiation of platonic love, physical love, friendly love. They have about 8 kinds of love. I'm talking about something called eros. Eros, and what the Greeks call agape. Love in Hebrew and Greek sounds very similar. I'm talking about love between a man and a woman, and it's obviously connected with eros, spiritual, physical love. In that case, if a person chooses one person out of many, he chooses himself in that story too. He thinks that he himself should be there in the first place for the object of his love. Otherwise, it will be some kind of masochism. It will not be even between love and suffering. It will be just suffering, followed by slight or not so slight insanity. And because of that, love is as strong as death and as harsh as hate. It's darts of fire. Darts of fire. Not very nice, is it? Darts of fire. Blaze of God. Something terrifying, burning, destroying. Vast floods cannot quench this love. It's so mighty that no one can resist it. It's not possible. It's not our choice. No one would choose an affliction, and I insist it's an affliction. But it's an affliction that can be positive. It moves everything. It makes us human. It's not just a case of reproduction. It's a question of godlike creature. One of the most important commandments that will be discussed here today, which was at the beginning of this video clip. You shall love your God, and not just love him, but with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. Nefesh is a physical soul, don't forget. It does not say Neshama, the divine soul. Nefesh is flesh, physical and biological soul. So, love with all your heart is spiritual love. Love with all your nefesh, your biological soul, is love physical. With all your might, with all that you have, global, all-encompassing, incinerating love. Then we understand why vast floods cannot extinguish it. Even vast rivers will not quench it. If one were to exchange all the wealth of one's house for love, he would be utterly scorned. And such phrase that can often be seen in verses, the last sentence, that knocks us out of rhythm, but is important here as an epilogue. Although love is so mighty that it's like a seal upon your heart and a signet upon your arm, it's strong as death, it comes with jealousy that is as harsh as hate. Although it's binded together with the darts of fire, fire that no one can quench, even if you want to, except for God. If he wants to, he will extinguish it, but if you want to extinguish it, I doubt it. Even rivers cannot do that, extinguish that fire. And the final verse is remarkable. If one were to refuse love in order to obtain wealth or an estate, let's say one was given a palace and all that comes with it, and was offered to refuse love, let go, exchange it. Shame would be on him, colossal shame. Everyone would despise him. A reasonable man, a Homo sapiens, choosing between afflictions, hell, death, darts of fire, blaze of God. Someone who could say, I want a good life, give me a palace, servants, all that, and you can take away that love. I don't want it. Then he would be dealt with contempt. This has nothing to do with the Talmudic logic. There is no logic here whatsoever. This is Song of Songs by King Solomon.